Welcome to the Colleges Wales Teach Pod podcast series. Supported by Welsh Government, these 10-minute sessions offer further education lecturers and work-based learning practitioners practical learning and teaching tips. With contributions from colleges from across Wales, the series offers professional learning opportunities for staff in the FE sector to hear about examples of best practice. There are 4 key themes: resilience, digital, differentiation and A-level pedagogy. For further information, please visit colleges.wales.
Hello, welcome, croeso. My name is Matt Rees and welcome to today's podcast of an introduction to Streamyard as a streaming platform. Today I'm joined by Scott Morgan.
Thanks, Matt. Diolch. Good to be here. I'm Scott. I'm digital lead at the college, where I look after all of our tech and staff training around everything to do with digital.
And Adam Richards.
Hello, I'm course leader for music at Gen College. Thank you for having me.
Fantastic. So today we're going to get under the skin of what Streamyard is and how it benefits our learners. So we're going to kick off first of all with Scott. Scott, can you tell us a little bit about Streamyard? What is it?
Absolutely. So Streamyard is basically a way of live streaming a video call, if you like. So imagine you're on Google Meet or Microsoft Teams or Zoom or something like that, and you're sort of just having a chat. You can stream that out to YouTube or Facebook or Twitter or any site that sort of allows a live stream. So it's essentially like a webinar, but it's a really slick platform, really good to use.
Okay. Any other alternatives? Because I know we do use Streamyard, for example, in music, which I know Adam's going to talk about in a second. But why Streamyard? Why didn't we choose any of the other alternatives, or are there alternatives?
So there's plenty of ways to live stream stuff. There's loads of different platforms you may be familiar with. What we've always tended to find works well for us is simplicity. And I found Streamyard really, really simple to use, really low barrier to entry. There's no downloads necessary. You don't need to download any funky software or learn how to use it. It's literally sign in and away to go. You just click the little buttons. It's not hard to use. And it all just lives inside a browser, so you don't have to do anything different to what you normally do with Google
good.
Meet.
You mentioned that I suppose it's really accessible. Is that kind of, would you say that that's one of the main pros for our lecturing staff, because they haven't got to learn how to use it as such, but they can dive straight in and just go live?
Absolutely. So we've done a lot of work around kind of integrating systems across the college, and our staff training platforms have always been around kind of built with simplicity and not introduced too many platforms too often, and this one just slotted straight in with what we already have. So yeah, there's low barrier to entry, like I said, and not much else to do.
And I think that's been really important, especially because during the pandemic there's been lots of things to learn, and it's been a big learning process for everyone. The last thing we wanted to do is introduce another piece of software or hardware that was difficult to use and there were barriers to entry.
Absolutely.
Okay, Ad, why were you looking for a platform like Streamyard? What made you look?
So basically, within our sort of degree program in music and in our level 3 and level 2 program, is that we like to have a lot of enrichment on the course. So we like to use a lot of our industry contacts to sort of speak to our students. I like to bring different producers, songwriters, musicians down to the campus to inspire the next generation. And obviously with COVID-19 and with lockdown, you know, trying to think about doing it creatively, like we use Google Meets with our learners on a regular basis for teaching our lessons, but there was a big barrier when it comes to the audio quality, specifically for music, and how we could sort of interact with whoever's doing the masterclasses. So I was looking around at different sort of streaming platforms, basically. I've used Zoom quite a few times, and it was okay, but it feels a little bit clunky and a little bit overcomplicated at times. And that's when I had a conversation with Scott then about Streamyard.
Okay, great. As it benefited you in music? Has it lived up to kind of what you thought it would be?
It is better, to be honest. Okay. It's exactly what I was looking for in a platform. So I basically jumped on a call with Scott, and Scott ran me through very briefly, very quickly. I'm talking literally 2 minutes, going through Streamyard, and I knew exactly what I needed to do and stuff on it. Some of the benefits of it for me over other streaming platforms is that you have this green room and you can have this chat area. So, for example, this year we've had Ramesh Dorigando, who's a record producer in Cardiff. We've had Effie Chippen from Nashville, who's a big record producer, who's worked with Dierks Bentley and Shania Twain. We've also had Sylvia Massey from LA, who produced Red Hot Chili Peppers, Johnny Cash. And so the great thing was, from my point of view, with StreamYard, it's a great way of me being able to engage with those people doing the masterclasses before they took place. So we jump online about 15 minutes beforehand. We'd be in our little green room. We'd have a good chat together. It was great as well from a CPD point of view, because I'm getting to meet these amazing people. Some of them I know before, some of them are new to me as well. But also, every seminar as well, I was allowing 2 new students to be part of the co-hosting team. So they were getting to meet these people.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, you mentioned then about engaging with people, and I think that's been, one of the biggest challenges, I suppose, during this whole pandemic is this continuing, idea of how do we engage our learners? How do we continue to help them thrive? Would you say this platform encourages engagement from learners?
Oh, definitely, 100%. And there's quite a few different ways that it helps to engage the learners, by putting it out onto different platforms. So obviously, I got the green room, which I was just speaking about, which is a great way bringing in some learners so they can interact with industry professional. But when you go live on StreamYard, the great thing is that you can go live to a variety of different sources. So we were going live to a YouTube channel, and we were also going live to our Bajend Music Talent Pool Facebook page, and we were also going live to our Bajend Music page. So we had multiple ways then of reaching our students and learners.
Okay, fantastic. Talk to me a little bit about the learner experience from the end, because I know you said it's great from a host's point of view, but if I'm a learner, what does that look like for me? How do I engage with the platform if I'm looking at a guest speaker?
And this is a really good part of StreamYard, that it automatically, so the comments that were getting put onto the main source. So for example, if I was using YouTube, then all the comments that would go onto the YouTube page would instantly then come up then into the channel on StreamYard. And it's a really great way then of, I can see the questions that's coming up. I can then go through and choose which questions to ask this industry professional, because as you can imagine, sometimes you get some questions which aren't appropriate to that sort of situation. So, and the great thing is then as well, which this is a feature I absolutely love in StreamYard, is where you got the comments, the question you're going to ask, you click on it and you click show, and it comes up at the bottom of the screen. So even if somebody's watching, or they're going to watch it back later because it gets recorded, they'll still see that question that's up on the screen, so they can read through it in case they've missed that.
Fantastic. I think, one of the things we do really well within the FE sector is give learners that true kind of vocational experience and introduce them to industry professionals. And I suppose if you look at the benefits of the pandemic, is it's opened our world up almost. It's made, like you said, artists, producers from all around the globe far more accessible. And I suppose using a platform like StreamYard just kind of packages that in a nice professional way, would you say?
100%. What I quite liked as well was about putting the logos in the top corner. Okay. You can customize it, so the opening screen I'd always have as whoever's going to be doing the masterclass, I'd upload an image of them. It looks very professional and it's very easy to use. So it's great for lecturers because you don't want to be spending hours putting content together. You want to be able to do it quite quick. And that's exactly what we were able to do using StreamYard. Fantastic.
That's great. So we've had a little bit of a kind of a roundup about what StreamYard is. I know, like you said, it's gone down really well with lecturers, and the learners have responded really well to it as well. If there was one thing you had to kind of pick up on that Streamyard doesn't offer or might be seen as a barrier to lecturers? Are there any? Do you see any? Is there any improvements you think could be made?
I think from my point of view, I think I'd like to be able to have, if I'm multi-streaming, seeing the comments from every stream that I'm going to, and possibly as well, because you're limited to 10 participants, which is usually great, great number. But my lecturer head thinks sometimes I'd like to have maybe a couple more that you could bring in, because it actually, in a sort of way, works better than Google Meets, and it's a nice facility to use. So I'm thinking that if there was a master class of some sort and I had 18 students, and you wanted that interaction side of it, I think if you're allowed to have more participants, then I could use that environment to do it in.
When you say participants, do you mean who are actually on the panel?
Learners.
Okay.
Because some master classes, for example, if there was one on Zoom and say if you had 50 students on it and you had that actual person on there, you could actually have direct questioning through video. Okay. So StreamYard is basically, you stream somewhere and then you get the comments in. But I think if they just increase that participants a little bit more, I think I'd be able to do that actually on the StreamYard platform as well. But
Fantastic. There we are. So StreamYard here to stay, sounds like. It's been really beneficial for us. Thanks for joining us, Scott and Adam.
Thank you very much.
Thanks all.
With contributions from FE professionals from across Wales, the Colleges Wales Teach Pod podcast series offers a series of short teaching and learning tips, which you can put into practice straight away. The range of podcasts is broad, with sessions covering the themes of resilience, digital, differentiation, and A-level pedagogy. Find out more today.